More details have emerged today about how a navigator came to fall thousands of feet from an RAF jet. 44-year-old Mike Harland, who worked for BAE Systems, died 3 years ago during a test flight from RAF Marham. Kim Riley has been at the inquest and is in our newsroom now. Kim, who have the jury heard from today?
Well, we heard from Stephen Moss. He's a senior inspector with the Air Accidents Investigation Branch. He assisted the RAF Board of Inquiry. He said at the wreckage site near South Creek, he found the remains of the ejector seat and other debris. He said a piece of the Tornado aircraft, an air intake fin, was lying close to where the seat had come to earth. The conclusion was that the seat in which Mike Harland had been strapped had struck this part of the aircraft as it came out. Now, in a normal fired ejection, that simply couldn't happen. It would all happen far too fast. In this case, Mr. Harland's seat fell out with a force of gravity after the plane turned over and flew upside down. The seat was so badly damaged it couldn't perform its main functions. It certainly couldn't bring Mr. Harland safely down to earth.
Kim, was there any more evidence as to why the seat fell out of the plane in the first place?
Yes, there was. Mr. Moss actually showed a video to the jury and it demonstrated the correct installation of the ejector seat in a Tornado aircraft. Then what could happen if a key component, that the top latch plunger, wasn't properly engaged? It allowed the seat to move freely in that case, and with the plane flying upside down, it would simply fall out, not be fired out. He believed the failure of key components was highly unlikely. His conclusion, the cause of the accident was this particular plunger not being properly engaged and locked down. Though he did say, despite an extensive search of the wreckage area, quite a wide area in fact, the plunger and the spring that went with it has never been found. Well, tomorrow the jury is expected to hear from the pilot of the jet at the time, Mark Williams, who should be able to give a really personal picture of exactly what happened in those last fatal moments.
Kim, thank you very much.
5 people have been taken to hospital after a crash in Essex. It happened near Harlow this morning. A minibus carrying 9 people crashed into an empty coach in Canes Lane. 2 of those taken to the Princess Alexandra Hospital were treated for possible spinal injuries. 3 men are facing jail for conspiring to arrange a sham marriage. Fernando de Silva, Mamadou Jola and Clifford Asikia were all found guilty at Peterborough Crown Court. The bride, Ruth Abumeri, had already admitted trying to get married in the city in May to avoid being deported.
I think it does send out the right message that sham marriage isn't just, you know, like the film Green Card. It's a serious offence and it's got links into other forms of organised crime, and we're determined to stamp it out.
A £200 million super ferry was officially named in Essex today, but its owner says it needs the economy to improve to recover its costs. The Stena Britannica and its sister ship, the Stena Hollandica, will carry passengers and freight between Essex and Holland.
No outward signs of recession. The band played. The minister's wife named a second super ferry. But today's christening was overshadowed by the state of the economy, although Stena Line says economic confidence is coming back.
How soon do you need it to come back, then, in order to justify the money you've spent on these 2 ferries?
Tomorrow.
Pretty soon, then?
Pretty soon, yes, absolutely.
Do you think it will?
No, I don't think it will take a little bit longer, and in the meantime, you know, we just have to go through this period.
Look East filmed the Stena Britannica's sister ship being built at a shipyard in Germany. Both super ferries were ordered in the good times, but no less a figure than the Transport Secretary says the Stena Line was right not to be put off by the downturn.
I say to Stena, be of stout heart, because the lifetime of this vessel will be measured in many tens of years. And I'm quite sure that these ferries will be well used and well appreciated for many, many years to come.
But elsewhere in Harwich, cold economic winds seem to be blowing. These plans to extend the Bathside Bay container port are now on hold.
It's still our intention to develop Bathside Bay for deep-sea containers when the market demands. But it's quite clear with the effects of the recession that's not going to be as soon as we had originally thought.
These are wind farm propeller heads, and to tide it over, the port may get more involved in building wind farms. Meanwhile, the Stena Line is taking hope from figures published today showing an increase in ferry passengers. Gareth George, BBC Look East.
Football and promotion chasers Ipswich and Norwich return to action in the Championship this evening. Third place Norwich will be looking to close the gap on leaders QPR. They host strugglers Crystal Palace. Ipswich travel to Watford, who are also in the top 6. Traffic over the Orwell Bridge in Suffolk will be held up from tonight while the structure is x-rayed. The Felixstowe-bound side is being examined to see if bearings which support the roadway need replacing. Traffic lights will stop cars for 10 minutes at a time.
Graffiti and chewing gum, they're the scourge of most of our town centres. But at Sudbury and Suffolk, one woman's generosity means the streets and walls could soon be much cleaner.
Don't be fooled. Jean Chapman hates graffiti. It was what she saw on her drive into work in Sudbury one day which made her see red.
Someone's gone round on a Thursday night for whatever reason and decided to graffiti the town.
The more she saw, the more she thought. Something must be done. So she bought her hometown this, a graffiti and chewing gum removal machine. Cost £8,500.
You turn the tap on at your home and you get 1 bar, you turn this on you get about 200 bar, so it's quite powerful. You know, at the moment we have hand kits which we can't always get stuff off of, so obviously this will take over from the hand kits and we'll be given obviously the pressure and the chemical mixed together will remove it.
Jean was relieved to learn that her one and only attempt at spray painting a tag was child's play to remove.
Hopefully it's going to make a big difference to Sudbury as well as generating income. If it's hired out, to play it back into Sudbury.
And thanks to her generosity, the streets should soon look a lot smarter. Richard Daniel, BBC Look East, Sudbury.